Hi LinkedIn family and friends. Today I'm going to continue with my educational session about fundamental concepts of JavaScript. So today I'm going to continue with the very important concepts in array, that's array methods. That's three major methods in the arrays that are map, filter and reduce. So these three methods are very important. If you go with any frameworks, Node.js or Express.js or React.js, these three methods are vastly and widely used in the industry. So the proper understanding of map, filter and reduce is the concept is very important. So I'm going to go with the session today. But first, let me thank you for all the support you're doing in LinkedIn, and yeah, let me continue this session. So yeah, coming to map. One second. Yeah. So first method is map. What is a map? Map is nothing but a method of the array. A method of the array which is used to iterate over each element of the array. So let me take one example. Let me take a sample array here. So here, just look at this. We'll take a sample array. Okay. So map is nothing but it is a method which is defined in the array, which is used to iterate over each element of the array. Iterate means the iterations in the for loop, how the iteration is done. The similar way, this map, what it does is it will iterate over the individual element of the array, and it will return the new array in the form of a result. Okay, so this is what map is. So you are wondering what I'm telling. So this is just a theoretical part of the definition. So let me give you a proper example by applying the map method here. So just take an array, sample array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So what happens is I'm going to apply the method of the array to this sample array. Okay. So just look at. So now I'm going to apply sample dot map. So this is how you write a map function. So this map will take arguments. So this is you can declare whatever. So this is nothing but it represents the each element of the array. For the first iteration, this value will be 1. For the second iteration, this value will be 2, right? Like that. So for example, you take an instance for loop where you give index or I. This is a similar thing in this. Here you can name anything here, anything you want, but you have to use this element, this variable, whatever the variable you are declaring inside this curly brackets. You have to use that in the form of a return. So it will take this individual element that I'm giving the name as an element as an input, and it will apply the arrow function. This is arrow function. I will give you the proper example for function expression, different types of function. I will explain you in that session. So what happens is, so inside this square bracket, so for now I want the new array in the form of boolean for this example. Okay, so what happens, what result I want to check whether each element is divisible by 2 or not. Okay, each element is divisible by 2 or not. If it is divisible by 2, then return true. If it is divisible by if it is not divisible by 2, then return false. I'm going to apply that condition here. So I'm going to just return element modulus of 2 equal to c. This will return true or false. This is a boolean expression. Okay, so whatever the value, if it is divisible by 2, then it will return true. If it is not divisible by 2, then it will return false in the form of an array. It will store in the results in the form of an array. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to store this whatever the process I'm doing here. So I'm going to store this in the one more variable, that is nothing but a result. Okay, so this result will contain this new array. This map will return the new array. That's the most important thing. this map will return a new array. So what result you will get after this application of the map method? The result you will get in form of an array. So just I'm going to iterate. It will iterate. So the first element is 1. It will check for 1 whether it is divisible by 2 or not. 1 is not divisible by 2, then it will return a false value here. Then it will go to the iteration 2. Then it will check 2 is it divisible by 2 or not. Then it will return a true value because it is divisible by 2. So it will return 2. So for example, all the elements it will happen like this: false, true, false. The result will be in the form of this. So this is how the map works. This is a proper, simplest explanation how the map works. So if you understand this, then you are thorough with the map method. So this is what map is. That's it. Don't complicate things too much. So this is map is nothing but it is the method of the array which is used to iterate over single individual element of the array and it will return the new array. That is what map is. So next I'm going to go with the reduce method. Okay, reduce. What is reduce? Reduce is a one more method of the array which is used to iterate over each element of the array, but it doesn't return a new array. It will just return a new value. So I will show you the perfect example. So let me declare an array, sample array. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm declaring the sample array here. So I want to apply the reduce method for this. How will I apply this? So I'm going to take a sample dot, I'm going to apply the array method reduce. So this will also take an argument. But it will take 2 arguments. One is the element, as I told earlier, you can use any variable here, any name. So one more thing it will take is an accumulator. So this is the important concept of reduce. The accumulator is nothing but a desired value which will the user will give to the reduce method. Okay, there is no rocket science behind it. This is a desired value which the user will give to the reduce method. So you will get a proper understanding. Don't worry. So now what I'm going to return is I'm going to return sum of this array plus this accumulator. Sum of this array and added with this accumulator value. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to return accumulator plus element. Alright, I'm going to return accumulator plus element. So I'm going to close this bracket here. So where will you give the accumulator value? Where will you give? You will give the accumulator value just up after this. You will give a comma here. You will give any value, any desired value. The user will give that value. So I will give 100 here. Okay, 100. So what? Just think about it. What result it will give? What result it will give? I will show you the result. So I'm going to store as clear. I'm going to store in the result variable. Okay. So this result will contain. So for the first iteration, 1. Okay. So the accumulator value you are defining it here, right? The accumulator value is 100. So for the first iteration, it will return 100 plus 1. Your 100 plus 1. So 101, right? This is the first iteration value, alright? So for the next iteration, the 2 will come. So already the value is 101. So next 101, accumulator value will increase. 101. Next 101 plus the element 2. 103, right? Then the accumulator will increase. Then the accumulator value is now 102, right? 102 is the accumulator value. So then again the third element will come and again the 3 will be added to the accumulator value. Again the fourth element will come. 4 will be added to the accumulator value. Again 5 will come, 5 will be added to the accumulator value. So 101 plus 2, 103, 6, 10, 115 is the final result of value. So this will return just a value to the user input. That's it. 115 is the result. So this is what reduce method is. Don't get confused with the reduce. So everybody will get confused with map filter reduce. So they will get confused with the arguments. So this nothing. You have to just remember there is a one more value called accumulator. For that accumulator, you are incrementing the value of the iterations. That's it. So this is about reduce method. Next, coming to the let's come to the most important thing is filter method. So this is also the method of the array which is used to filter out the array elements. Based upon some condition, it is used to filter out and it will give the result in the form of a new array. This is similar to map, but what it does is it is filter out the elements of the array based upon some condition. So for example, let me give one example. This is an easy example. So I'm going to give a sample array here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So now the result I want when I take this input array, I want only the even number array. Okay, even number array. So now what happens is I'm going to apply the filter method here. Sample dot filter. Correct. I'm going to apply filter method and then I'm going to this will take only the element as an argument. Guys, this if you have a single statement, this curly braces is not required and this inside braces is not required. If you have a single statement, if you have a more than 2 statements, you should have this curly braces for the arguments and also you should have this flower brackets in between. So what happens is I want only the array which is even number. So now what happens is I am going to give a condition like if element modulus of 2 equal to 0, then only you return that element. Then only you will return that element. Okay. So this is a very simple example. I am going to store the result. So the result is nothing but result will give you the that's even number. So this is how the result will come. So filter is nothing but it's just based upon this is the condition you will give for the filter method. Based upon some condition, you are rendering the new array. That's it. Based upon some condition, you are rendering the new array. So this is what map filter reduce. Simple. Don't complicate things. This is a very simple explanation of map filter reduce I wanted to convey. So thank you for this session. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you.